ho, 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 ho. December 20th, 1943. A German ace is refueling his plane. But this is no ordinary pilot. Franz Stigler was an ace several times over. He was the best Germany had to offer. And when he wasn't shooting down Allied planes, he would train his fellow pilots on the art of dogfighting. His methods were simple. He's gonna come for you. You know where he's going. He knows where you're going. Now do something about it. Franz Stigler had all the qualities of a legendary fighter pilot. On this particular day, he had already shot down 2 B-17 bombers. While Franz was refueling, a B-17 bomber flew over his head, very low to the ground. He didn't even finish fueling when he jumped into his plane and went after the bomber. Minutes earlier, Charlie Brown and the crew of the B-17 Flying Fortress, named the Olde Pub, had just finished their bombing run when the plane was severely damaged from German anti-aircraft fire. The Ye Olde Pub fell behind the B-17 group formation.
Formation just pulled off and left us.
They were alone over enemy territory, and they were attacked by German fighters.
It was a feeling of absolute helplessness.
The Ye Olde Pub started hurtling towards the earth. The last thing Charlie recalled was pulling up over the tree line. The B-17 was so damaged it was unable to fly above 1,000 feet. Barely conscious, Charlie wiped the blood from his eyes and looked up. He saw a small German airfield ahead. The plane was so damaged, Charlie had no other option but to fly right over it.
So I'm sitting in the cockpit alone, and I look out, and there's the world's worst nightmare sitting on my right wing. I closed my eyes, and I opened them again, and he was still there.
Charlie was not seeing things. A German pilot was on his wing and motioning for Charlie to land his B-17.
My guns were frozen up and I had my barrels pointed at him, and he knew they couldn't do anything because they weren't shooting. He kept closing, I couldn't shoot.
Realizing that the Yankee was not going to land his plane, Franz Stigler flew around the bomber, examining the damage. Franz said that it appeared that the B-17 was flying with only one engine. He noticed a huge gaping hole in the side of the B-17. There were men in there, desperately trying to save their fellow airmen. As Franz moved to Charlie 6, he noticed at the very rear of the plane, the gunner was dead and slumped over the guns. Charlie, seeing the German pilot move into perfect attack position, closed his eyes and asked God to watch over his family. When Charlie opened his eyes, he was shocked. This German pilot was flying in formation with him as his wingman.
And I saw him lying in there, bleeding profusely, so I couldn't shoot. If I wouldn't have seen him, it was different. If I wouldn't have seen a person at all, I would have shot. When you shoot at the airplane, you don't think of people in there. You see the airplane, nothing else. A plane that bombs your cities or your factories or whatever. But in this case, as I saw this tail gunner, I just couldn't do it.
Seeing a silhouette of a German plane in the sky, none of the anti-aircraft guns fired. Now across enemy lines and heading for the coast, Franz pulled directly next to Charlie. The two men looked at each other. Franz gave a military salute, waved to the men, and then flew off into the clouds.
I say, I hope you make it home. That's what my weight was about.
Even a warrior can show his enemy compassion and respect. As Franz returned to base and landed, he told no one of what he had just done. Charlie would make it home and land the Ye Olde Pub. A member of the ground crew would later remark, "If I had not watched the B-17 land, I would have never believed it ever flew." This whole incident would remain classified until well after the war.
I'm Chief O'Brien. I'll be your corpsman today, okay? Can you please tell me what's going on?
Charlie, along with the survivors, were pulled from the wreckage.
Can you talk? Can you tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Are you okay? Because you don't look okay.
Injured and exhausted, Charlie was barely able to speak.
Okay, I need you to look at me. I need you to calm down. I need you to breathe.
There was only one thing on Charlie's mind. What just happened? And who was that pilot?